Hello, this is Nick Dillon with Scalability Experts, and today we're going to do a quick video on how to utilize logging within your SSIS package. Why would you want to enable logging within your SSIS package? Well, first of all, it's very quick and easy to set up. With just a few mouse clicks, you can be logging in no time. And also, we can answer some very basic questions about our package. Did our package even run? When and how long did it run? And how many records were moved within the package? So let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration on how to enable logging within SSIS. We're going to fire up bids, and we're going to create a new project, and we're going to use the integration services project template, and we'll just use a default name. Okay, so we need something to log, so let's go ahead and add a data flow task. And we're going to drill down into the data flow task, and let's add a source and a destination. We're going to configure the source to use my local AdventureWorks database, and we'll pull from the customer table, and we'll get all the columns. And we'll put that into another database that I have here locally, an AdventureWorks data warehouse database. And I've already configured a staging table for us to store this data. And we'll look at our mappings from source to destination. It's basically a one-to-one mapping, very simple data flow. So now we have a very simple package set up that we can test with, or we can test our logging with. And to turn on logging for this particular package, we can find the SSIS menu option, and we'll click on logging. Here's where we do all the configuration or logging configuration within this particular package. We'll go ahead and click on the package. This is going to enable logging for this particular package. And then what we need to do is decide, are we going to store it in a text file, or are we going to store this log in SQL Server database, SQL Server profiler? We can even do Windows event log, or we can store it in an XML file, or we can store it in a combination of these files or formats. So let's go ahead and configure a log provider for the SQL Server database. We'll click on the Add button. We'll go ahead and enable this log provider, and we're going to go ahead and configure. And you can see that we already have the two data connections that we just created, and we'll go ahead and use one of these data connections to actually store our logging information to. So we'll use this data warehouse database to store logging to. So like I was saying before, we can also, if we had another SQL Server database that we wanted to log to, we can do that as well. So we just click Add again, and it creates a new instance, a new log provider. And if we wanted to, we could write the log files out to another database as well. If we wanted to remove one of these log providers, we just click delete. Let's go ahead and set up a text file as well. We'll go ahead and enable this log provider, and now it's going to ask us for a data connection that's actually connected to a file on our file system. So we'll do create file, and we'll do C drive SSIS logs folder, and we'll call this customer log.log. Okay, so now we've created a new, you can see down here below that the connection has been added to our connections manager for this particular package. There's one more thing that we need to do. We need to tell the package which events to log. So we have a list of events here, and we'll go ahead and get the on error, on information, on pre-execute, and post-execute. And we can even drill down further if we like and disable individual columns from being logged into the data. So if space was an issue, we could unclick these, and it wouldn't log that particular information to our log provider. If we want to save this configuration, we can click the Save button, and it saves our configuration for this particular package in an XML file. So if we later create a new package and want to come back and use the same configuration, because we spent some time deciding which events we're going to use and which columns we're going to store, and which log providers we're going to use. So we can come back in here later on if we create a new package, click the load button, and just load this configuration, and it remembers all of the details that we just set up. So now this package is ready for logging. Let's go ahead and save it. We'll go ahead and run this package. You can see this was successful. We moved 19,820 rows from our source to the destination. And now let's go hunt down our log information. Remember that we set up a SQL Server and a file system log provider. So let's look at the SQL Server first. We'll fire up Management Studio to connect to our SQL Server database. And here's my local server instance. And this is a database that we stored our login information to. We expand tables. We can expand the system tables, and in here we'll find the SysSS log table. So let's look at that. And there you go. We see we have 26 records provided to us. We have here the events. So here are on information events. We have package start, on pre-execute, on information, on post-execute, and package end. So there's a lot of good information here. We can look at our package start time, and we can take the difference between the end time, and then we can do a very simple math calculation on that to determine how long this particular package ran. We can also look at one of the on information events, and that'll tell us how many rows were actually written out to our destination. So a lot of good information here to be had. And let's go ahead and look at our file system and see if it actually produced a log, which it did. So it created this customer log file for us. You see it's 12 kilobytes, and it stored all that information that we just saw in SQL Server, but in a text file format. So one more thing I'd like to show you is we go back to our bids, and perhaps we want to store one file or multiple files instead of one file, because we can imagine that log file will grow and grow and grow, and maybe we don't want a 1 gigabyte text file. Maybe we want to split that up by the hour or something like that. A way to do that is we can click on our connection down here to the actual log file, go to our properties, and we're going to set up an expression to modify our connection string on the fly. And I've got some code over here that I'm going to copy in. So basically this is configuring our file name for our log, and basically it's going to pull the date, the current date, and concatenate all that information together to form our log file. I'll go ahead and evaluate this expression, and if the package ran right now, this is what the file name would be. You can see we have the hour here and the minutes. So I'll click OK on that. And now the next time that I run this package, we should have a new log file with a different file name. And you can see it's already there. And you can see that it has the current date and the time within this particular file name. So if we waited a minute, and maybe I can speed time up by changing my time. Yeah. So let's move this up a minute. Okay. So I just changed time. And now let's run this package again and see what happens. There we go. For the next minute, we have a new log file. Same information in here. If we ran it again, and we're still in the, we're in the 17th minute now. But if we were in the 16th minute, it would store all that log information in this 16th minute file. But since it's the 17th minute now, as far as my computer is concerned, it created a new file. So hope you got some gleaned some good information from this demonstration, and thanks for watching.